What's up, guys, and welcome back to The Faithful Trainer. I'm with today's guest,
Ashna.
And today we're gonna go ahead and take her through a lower body workout. 4 more.
What?
I lost count. That's okay. There you go. Knees come out slightly. Oh, it's money. Wicked, quick, snap. Yes. We're gonna go ahead and start today's lower body workout with a proper warm-up. So we're gonna go ahead and take her through just a little bit of a yoga flow. I don't want her to start under the squat bar and not warm up properly. We're gonna just go into that cactus here. All right, and then we're gonna inchworm out, and then you're gonna hang out in that downward dog, and then I'll walk you through that next one. We'll start with that cactus, yeah. From there, the glutes are gonna come back. You're gonna go ahead and walk. You'll just go ahead now go into that downward dog. Exactly, from there, you already know it. Go ahead and get those calf walks.
I've done a lot of yoga in the past.
Very cool, very good. We'll go calf. Let's go ahead and just do 3, okay? Nice, big round back. Nice job.
Thank you.
Yeah, there you go. From here, let's go into that Spider-Man. So you're just gonna take a step. Yeah, elbow's gonna be on the inside. Exactly. And then we're just gonna go ahead and drive. And then we're gonna come back, keep the hands planted. Yeah, get the hamstring. Forward and back. Let's go. Go ahead and use the booty band, which I love. Okay, we're gonna go ahead and put this on. And I'm gonna step 1, 2, this is 3. Semi squat. 1, 2. Step above the knees. That's the 2. 1, 2. Now there's per with 1, 2, 3, step. You gotta throw from the set. 1, no. 2. You over here. Last 1. 2. Let's go. Yeah, so I'm curious, what are you kind of working on in your life right now?
I am working on my embodiment business, where my goal is to help women reconnect with the wisdom of their bodies. So I've been teaching classes. I teach them once a month, but I think in May I'm gonna push myself to teach 3. So I'm working on sitting with the discomfort of challenging myself and knowing I can do it even though I'm afraid of pushing myself that far, that fast.
I love that. And in those classes,
yes.
What are you taking these women through?
Yeah, so I've noticed that, a lot of this work comes from my own experiences in my own life. So I spent many years very disconnected from my body, and I've been into holistic health for a really long time. So I spent years eating the right foods, I'm drinking the right water, I'm meditating, I'm working out, I'm doing yoga, but it still felt like something was missing. And so the last 5 years have been this really big journey into reconnection with my body. And our bodies talk to us all the time, but I think a lot of us don't understand its language. So my goal in these classes is to help women understand how much wisdom our bodies hold, and that our bodies, even when it seems like they're working against us, they love us so much and they're always trying to help guide us into alignment. So my goal is really to help women connect more with their bodies and start to move through emotions that can be trapped in our bodies and hold us back.
Wow. That is so cool.
Yes.
You'd mentioned that you felt like something was missing.
Yes.
You practice holistic health. You were meditating.
Yes.
You were eating all the right foods, but still you felt like maybe there was energy in your body or there was an alignment issue.
I was so focused on these external things, even meditating, it became like something I need to check off the list. So yoga became about movement versus spending time reconnecting with myself. And in the last couple of years, the biggest thing for me has also been connecting with God. And I feel like that, and not just looking for God or all these answers outside of me, but inside of me. And how is a piece of God inside of me? How is everything I could ever need inside my body? And how is everything else a tool to help me realize my innate greatness?
It's an absolute beautiful mission.
Thank you.
So cool. We're gonna go ahead and take this pad, and really the position is just gonna be on the top of the quad. Okay, that's where it's gonna be most comfortable. From here, I wanna bring my heels about 6 inches from my butt. I'm about 1/3 of my upper back on this, so my glutes come back, and I'm pushing the barbell actually down my quads as I'm coming up. I'm controlling it down, but here, I'm almost like I'm pushing my head back and I'm pushing the barbell forward, so therefore I can squeeze the glute at the top of the movement, okay? To protect the lower back, I want you to stop just almost like you're at the very top, but I don't want this because then my lower back will actually take over. Okay, and that's a big mistake a lot of people have on this one. So yeah, right on the top of the quad there. Yeah, your hands look good. Yep, your upper back's about a third. Perfect, your feet look good there as well. Now go ahead and drive and push the bell there. Good, slowly come down. There you go, knees come out slightly. There you go. Good, drive. 4 more.
What? This is 9.
No, come on now.
What?
I lost count. That's okay, 4 more, I lost count.
Got it. Yeah. Good. Very good. 1. Yeah. Let's go. I might count this time. 3.
I'm counting, don't worry.
Yeah. 4. Are you?
Yeah.
Good. 5.
You put this.
You talked about breath, and you talked about how that helped you have a relationship with God. Can you elaborate on that?
Yeah, so I'm reading that book, Free Me From Me by Ryan Wenkerman, whatever his last name is, the Red Rocks pastor. So in the book, he talks about breath prayer, where it's like, not deep. And obviously there's so much breathwork practice that everyone's doing all the time, but I've never really I have certain breathwork practices that I like for myself that are very calm, but I feel like breathwork can be very scary. But he just talks about like literally with your inhales and exhales, like taking like for 5 or 6 counts, like breathing in, breathing out. And as you're breathing in, saying something like, I'm so grateful, like thinking of God, thanking God, and breathing out, I lack nothing, for example. Or another one, like from Psalm 23, he's like, the Lord is my shepherd. As you breathe in, I lack nothing. Something like that. So I've been doing that, and I find that very calming.
Whenever I was also going through the anxiety, I never really necessarily connected my breath to God. It was more or less like, I don't want to feel this anxiety, so let me do this breath work that I've heard that's going to help my anxiety.
Yes, but it's more meaningful, I think, connecting it.
How so?
Because I think, I pray every night, but I believe that, so I feel like a lot of people pray to God or ask for help when they're at their like lowest of the low, right? They're like, nothing else has worked. They're, maybe at rock bottom and they're asking God for help. But I believe that God can only work through us. So I always try to pray and ask God, like, God, work through me. I want to feel confident to teach 3 classes in May. God, help me find the strength, like help me help myself to do that versus asking God, oh, help me. Because like in this world of free will, God, I believe God can really step in. So even with connecting breath, like God, help me find that calm in myself. Help me help myself versus just breathing and then I'm alone versus feeling that connection with whatever I'm doing in my life.
So you said that you believe that God can work through you.
Yeah.
So by you praying, you believe that whatever hard thing you're going to do, whether it's a goal, whether it's you teaching 3 classes,
yes,
to ask for God's strength, you firmly believe that He is the one that is working through you to be able to do.
To a degree, yes. Not like 100%, but I think He gives me the boost. Because I do feel like I'm here on earth, I'm here to build and create and do something beautiful, but I still have God's support and His strength to like push me or guide me or help me. So like, even before this, I just asked like, God, please like work through me and help me say what I need to say to help and benefit the most amount of people. Like what do people need to hear and how can I be that conduit? So it's still me, but I'm asking for help and guidance. And I believe that if you don't ask for help, it becomes harder for Him to help because we live in a free will. It's free. We have free will. That's how He created us.
So beautiful. That's awesome. You ready?
Yes.
I always want to imagine that the side of my foot, I'm almost ripping the floor apart so I can activate the side of my hip, alligator's mouth, come forward, and then you're just drawing those glutes in. That was money. Go.
Good. Good. Right in, yeah. shoulder blades come tight. Boom. Got the shoulder blades back now. There we go. Got it. Come on now. You gotta be.
Did you grow up believing in God?
Not exactly. So I grew up Hindu. My mom is very religious. So I grew up, before I'd go to school every day, we would pray together. All the Hindu celebrations, we'd get together. We'd go to temple occasionally. And then I went to Catholic school, which was an interesting mix because I'd be going to mass once a week. I'd have religion class every day, but I never stood up to take the body and blood of Christ. So it was weird because I went to Catholic school, but from a young age, I felt like I didn't belong. And I think that carried over into a lot of my life around maybe religion and feeling this weird question mark around what is God, because I never, even though I grew up doing the Hindu things, I never cultivated a relationship with God.
What about those certain things, or like, I guess, why did you feel disconnected?
Yeah, me and my husband want to have children in the next couple of years. And I think a lot about how do you raise your child to have a relationship with God that is his or her own, because I believe relationships with God are very personal, and you can go to church and you can, do like get baptized, do the confirmations and all of these things, but that can't create your relationship with God. And so I feel like I grew up doing these things, learning about this religion, going to mass, but I never actually, I didn't know what God was. I just didn't know what God was. And Hinduism, the things that we used to do are very ritualistic, and that doesn't really resonate with me. And nothing against, obviously, that religion or people who believe in that. Like my mom really believes in that, as does my grandma and a lot of my family, but that ritualistic part never resonated with me. And it wasn't until the last couple of years that I began to realize how personal my relationship to God is, that's when my faith started to grow. When I started getting curious about God, I was like, okay, I'm learning more. I'm developing a relationship with God. I want to learn more. What do I do? And so I tried to look into Hinduism, and I can't read the texts. Like, they have their version of the Bible. It's hard to understand. So I'm like, okay, let me buy a translation. And even that I couldn't connect to. But then I bought the Bible and I started reading the Bible, and then I started going to church, and I'm like, I understand this. It is so easy for me to understand. Oh my gosh. And I watched The Chosen.
Yeah.
Have you seen it?
I've seen some
cried
episodes.
my way through most of that show. I'm not fully caught up, but that at that time I was going to church, reading the Bible, trying to delve into Hinduism, and I just felt like I resonated so much with Jesus' teachings, and just learning how to be a good person. And that's all I want. That's all I want for my children. That's also why I want to learn and get so strong in my faith, so I can raise children who can go forward and have these beliefs and become bigger because they know they're part of something bigger. And something I tell myself is I'm here as God's soldier, and I want to I want to keep on raising God's soldiers. So I also want to make sure I'm in a really good place with just being able to answer their questions.
That's so good. I'm curious for any kid that have grown up similar to you, and maybe they have a family that believes in a religion, and maybe they just felt disconnected.
Yes.
In a way. I would imagine that's very hard for a kid, because maybe you're told what you're supposed to believe.
Yes.
And then you start to realize that a relationship with God is supposed to be your relationship with God.
Yes.
How difficult was that to be able to kind of step back from that, because maybe there's expectation from family that said, hey, you need to believe this way. This is how we were raised. This is our tradition.
Yeah, it was really interesting because there is this Hindu celebration called Diwali. And when you have Diwali, you do certain things, you'll light candles in your home, you'll say certain prayers, maybe you go to the temple. And my grandmother would always call me and then say, are you doing this? Are you doing this? And me and my grandma are very close, and I'd say, no, I'm not doing this. I pray to God, I pray on my own time or in my own way. And she couldn't understand it. And for a while, my mom used to say the same things to me, and they'd always go to my husband because he's more gonna do these things. He believes in all these rituals. Not as much, but he's more likely to do it more than me. And so in the beginning, I was so confused because I'm to my grandma, I'm but I pray every night. I talk to God every night. Is that not enough? But there was this expectation that the rituals are what make you religious. versus your own faith. So I think that was a little crunchy in the beginning, but now we don't really have those conversations anymore, because I've realized that my faith is my own and I don't really have to talk to anyone about it unless I want to. So it's just something that's my own. And I will talk to people, but
What gave you the confidence to have that ownership
just knowing my truth
and your truth?
is that my relationship with God is my own. My husband, I went to visit my husband's family in India a couple months ago, and they're a different religion. They're very religious. And we went to this religious weekend, and I was like, okay, like I don't believe in this religion, but I will go, I'll find God, I'll sit in the corner. And I felt like the whole weekend was full of so much ritual and doing and being outside of ourselves that I ended that weekend being like, but what about God? Like, what about God? I don't personally feel that God cares about, this thing and this idol and this thing. It's just about knowing him and loving him and receiving that love. So I think the more I've been in these spaces where ritual is so important, it just reaffirms my faith and like God is in me and I don't need anything else.
It's so good.
Yeah.
That was really great advice. Thank you. All right, so we're going to do a circuit.
Okay.
So the first one's a squat jump. Pop through squat jumps.
Okay.
And then next one here, going to be that KB swing. We're going to let that weight come through, and I'm just going to pop through. And then the last one, and I'm just going to move in a square around the KB. And when I say switch, you're going to switch directions. Oh, it's money. An athlete.
Well, I'm not an athlete.
Come on now. Wicked, quick, snap. Yes. Yes, there you go. Now you got the movement down. Switch. Yeah, switch. Oh, switch.
Oh my God.
Good. Time. Your faces are changing at me, which I like. Was there a moment where your faith really mattered?
Yes. I feel like I'm gonna cry again, but I had a miscarriage last year.
I'm so sorry to hear that.
But in line with what I was saying before, I feel like it was the hardest thing that ever happened, but also the best thing in a weird, convoluted way. And I can kind of say that now because it's been a year. But I had wanted to be a mom for forever. Like, I still really want to be a mom. We want kids. And I had convinced myself that the only thing I was going to be good at in my life was being a mom. Because I had tried a lot of different things. Like, I've worked in corporate America, I've done different businesses, and for some reason or the other, it would kind of only go to a certain place. And the lie I had told myself that I believed was that I was never meant to like create anything of my own, like business-wise. It was going to be motherhood. And when I was okay with that, like I wasn't feeling any certain way with that. But when I went through my miscarriage, it was almost like coming to terms with this lie that I had been telling myself. And like, I felt like I couldn't even succeed in that. So it was really hard, but I feel like I came to Red Rocks church a lot during that time. It was so wonderful to have them pray over me and pray for me. And I just feel like if I hadn't been building my faith before that, it would have been a lot harder for me to stand here, not even a year later, and say that that obstacle shaped me into who I was always supposed to be. But I needed to go through that to realize how powerful I am, and that, yeah, I'm gonna be a great mom, but I'm also here to change so many lives. And if it wasn't for that, I would not have started. I just started this embodiment work in January. But if I hadn't gone through all of that, it wouldn't have led me here. And I know that I can have such an impact in this space, and I can change so many women's lives but I needed to go through that. And I needed my faith that there's a bigger picture. I'm working towards something bigger. I was built for something meaningful. And being a mom is so meaningful, but I'm made to be more than a mom. I'm meant to impact more lives than my children and my husband and my family.
I just want to say thank you so much for being strong enough to say that. But I will tell you, it's so cool that you realize that you're more, right? And you have these beautiful gifts that you can share to other people to impact them. And I think it's just so cool that you took your pain and you turned it into purpose. And that is so undeniably strong for you to be able to do that and realize that. And so I just want to say thank you.
Yeah.
Because that is so beautiful. And so it's fair to say that the thing that you walk through ultimately helped you realize how strong you are, how resilient you are, and ultimately gave you the confidence that since you went through such a hard thing, that you were able to maybe now show up the version of yourself that maybe you felt lack. For most, what you went through would run the other way. How in the world were you able to draw closer to God during such a trying time?
Because I couldn't get through it just on my own.
Give me a hug.
Yeah. We're all so sweaty.
Yeah, that's the KB swing.
And I also believe that like the souls that are supposed to come into my life, they're waiting and they're gonna come when I'm my best self. So I knew that it wasn't a never, it was a not right now because of my belief system. I also feel like I've been able to connect with God and I hear God's voice and like, I don't know if that sounds crazy to people, but I feel like I've heard him talking to me in my head.
It's so beautiful. Thank you so much for sharing that. Thank you.
You're welcome.
If there is anyone watching this that might be spiritually curious, maybe they feel like something's missing and they might not believe in God or they might not know it's God, what would you say to that person?
That's a really good question. I think the jump is going to be hard to convince them, but what I would start to say is start noticing anything you find beautiful. Like you see, I'll see cardinals in my neighborhood. So I'll see a cardinal and then my heart lights up for a second. Or I see my dogs every day, or I don't know, I take a bite of my favorite something and start paying attention to that feeling in your body. I would actually start with that. That would be my number one thing. Start noticing how and when your body lights up. And then, I don't know, for me, that was that's how I feel connected. I especially notice this in church, and I love going to church also because when you have a room full of people in their faith, you feel it. And that's the part of my chest that lights up. So that's how I connect those two things. But if you don't go to church, even I don't know, praying, I don't know, being thankful, being grateful, saying what you're grateful for, that part of your heart, that God part is gonna light up inside you.
It's so cool. That God part.
The God part.
Yeah. That's our next single. That God part.